welcome back to the channel. It's Christina, and today I'm going to share with you a look at MCP Mathematics. I'm going to go ahead and show you the kindergarten level all the way to the 4th grade level. I know this is a curriculum that a lot of homeschoolers use, but it's not widely talked about, especially on YouTube. And so I thought I would go ahead and just give you guys a look into the different levels, what it covers, in the hopes that it would help another homeschooler out there that is looking for a program like this. So let's get into it.
Bring me into golden sunlight. If I'm going with you, I know we'll get to the other side.
Okay, so I did want to go ahead and make this video. I've been cleaning out the shelves and I was like, you know what, let me go ahead and do a video on this math curriculum. This is a curriculum that I particularly like. It's old school math, reminds me of math that I did growing up, and it is a math program that we use in our homeschool. I have used it with both my children, but have primarily been more focused in on it with my youngest, my son, alongside another program that we use. But I really like it. The teacher guides are laid out really well, in my opinion. And it just is a program that just builds on skills. So you don't have to worry about them missing out on any, I guess, level-based skills that maybe you want. So if you want to keep your kid on grade level, or if you just want to make sure there's certain things that they know according to however old they are, this program is very helpful for that. It is a mastery-based approach, which I'll go ahead and get into when I share the different levels. So again, it's called MCP Mathematics, and MCP stands for Modern Curriculum Press. You can get this, I think, both at Christian Book and Rainbow Resource sells the packs. So the packs would come with the teacher guide and then the student book. All levels come with a teacher guide and a student book. This program goes up to 6th grade. I don't have the 5th and 6th grade book, so I won't be showing you that today. But when I do get those, I will go ahead and just do a quick video. So all of these books will be on my channel for other people to see, and hopefully it'll be helpful. So let's get into the kindergarten level. Okay, so I don't have the student book for this. We did use it, but this is the teacher's edition for the level K. These are from 2005 is the copyright on these. It's a comprehensive math program, will help students in grades K through 6 develop a solid mathematics background. It is designed to encourage critical thinking skills, active participation, and mastery of skills within the context of problem-solving situations. The program's developmental sequence introduces and extends skills taught in most mathematics curricula, such as number sense, operations, algebra, geometry, data collection and analysis, logic, and probability. So it's a research-based approach. There's direct instruction, guided practice, independent practice, high-order thinking skills, problem-solving strategies. They do teach how to use a calculator. I believe that comes in later, starting grades 3 to 6. They'll teach a child how to use a calculator, which, I mean, is helpful, because if you are in a bind and you need to know how to use a calculator, that is helpful. So they'll have little sections where you can use one. There's frequent and cumulative assessment. So chapter tests and assessments that kind of include everything that they've been learning up until that point. Then they have a section of remedying common errors, which is also helpful for struggling students. So we're using the student edition. So this shows you how to use the student workbook. Here's what worksheet would look like. Teach problem solving, and apply skills. So there's problem solving sections, challenge sections. You can plan ahead using the chapter opener. So in this particular edition, there is a little more in the teacher guide for the kindergarten level. There's like bulletin board suggestions, what materials you'll need, masters in the back to reproduce, make copies for your student, and things to read. There's various things in the kindergarten level that's slightly different from the others. There's a 4-step lesson plan. So there's a getting started, which includes your objective, like vocabulary, what you're going to learn in that particular lesson. There's materials list. So anything you might need, if you need to grab things like tape or picture books, things from the back of the book, they will mention that here. And then there's a warm-up section. This is a section that I really love about this program. It's a mental math section where you can just go over orally with your child, whatever is here. And then there's also a warm-up application, which can be like a pencil to paper, or you can use a whiteboard, or maybe you're bringing in manipulatives. There's the teach section. So here is where your lesson is laid out, and it's very straightforward to present to your child. There's the practice section, the assess, and then here's your mixed abilities. So for those children that need some intervention, there's some common errors that a lot of kids might experience that you can apply some ideas to. Enrichment and how to help a child continue to learn that concept. And then ESL, ELL strategies are offered twice per chapter. These activities will help you provide insights into English vocabulary and increase comprehension of mathematical concepts. So specific techniques cited ensure that learning is taking place. The techniques also remove potential language barriers for English language learners at beginning levels of proficiency. So that is within the program as well. Then you have your chapter tests and your alternate tests in the back of the teacher guide. So they don't do well on that test, you want them to go over some topics and do it again. There'll be an extra alternative one that you can use. And different ways in how you can prepare. So there's your scope and sequence. And it just tells you what's covered in all the levels. Okay, here's the table of contents. We have readiness, numbers through 5, numbers 6 through 9 and 0, numbers 0 through 12, time and money, numbers through 20, order and place value, fractions and measurement, addition, subtraction, and all your teacher helps in the back. So we'll just go to a random lesson here. So here's numbers 1 through 5. You have your objectives. This is what you're going to learn, some vocabulary. Materials, so small bowls and spoons, objects for sorting, reproducible master, RM6. So those are found in the back. This would be what you would make a copy of and give to your child. And then there's mental math. So like, is a mouse larger than an ant? And then in the blue is what they should be answering, or who is sitting beside you. Obviously, that is going to be different for everyone. Turn your head to your left. Name something that is between you and the door. Do you weigh more or less than a baby? Then classification, display objects and have students arrange them into groups according to whether or not they have the same size, shape, color, use, and so on. So this part of the warm-up, this would be the mental math, and this would be like a hands-on activity or pencil to paper, whatever it is you have on hand. And then this is the lesson. So place 4 bowls and 4 spoons randomly on a table. Have students arrange the objects into groups having the same shape or use. Ask students to explain their groupings. And it kind of just walks you through different activities to do in the teaching. And then you'll have your child do the worksheet, which is kind of explaining the practice section. And then here, if a child's struggling with anything, again, this is the mixed ability section where it will give you some ideas. So we'll move ahead a little more towards the end. And here we are in addition, chapter 9. So more mental math here. The first letter of the alphabet, 1 of 3 equal parts, 1 penny less than 30 cents. I mean, this is just a really great section here to go over. And then some geometry. Use a ruler to draw a rectangle. On the board, have students measure the length and width of the rectangle using a non-standard unit of measure. So more hands-on than, of course, your lesson. So that is how the kindergarten level is laid out, and we really enjoyed using this. My son enjoyed that level very much. Now we have level A. So this is what a student book would look like. This is the teacher manual. This is the kindergarten one, and this one's slightly thicker. I won't go over all the beginning, but we'll just kind of go over to a lesson that I have. Okay, so here is lesson 7.6. Lesson 7.6, the worksheet. So everything that the child sees, you see as well. So here they're learning subtracting from 17 and 18. You have your mental math, 14 take away 7, 6 plus 4, 15 take away 9, and this is all to do in their head. There's number sense here, so write 15 minus blank equals 9 on the board. Ask students for the missing number. Now erase the 9 and write 6. 15 minus blank equals 6. Ask for the new missing number. So very straightforward. The teaching, the practicing, and again, your mixed abilities. So all laid out the same. That's lesson 7 there. Here's what a chapter test looks like. So there's not much here. There is alternate tests. So they take this test, don't do well, you work on whatever it is they didn't understand, then they can take the alternate. Here's a cumulative test. So that's including everything that they've learned up until that point, just mixed in to give you an understanding of what they remember and what they're taking with them. So in level A, they're touching on numbers 0 through 10, addition facts through 10, subtraction facts through 10, relating addition and subtraction, place value through 200, addition facts through 18, subtraction facts through 18, money and time, addition and subtraction facts review, addition of 2 and 1 digit numbers, subtraction of 2 and 1 digit numbers, add and subtract 2 digit numbers, geometry, measurement, fractions, and graphing. So that's what's covered there. And I incorporate this program into our homeschool mostly with the teacher guide for the mental math. We do use some of the worksheets, but not all of them. But this is definitely enough to just be a standalone curriculum. Here's level B. Okay, level B is basic facts through 10, basic facts through 12, addition facts through 18, subtraction facts through 18, numbers through hundreds, time and money, addition with 2-digit numbers, subtraction with 2-digit numbers, adding and subtracting 2-digit numbers, adding 3-digit numbers, subtracting 3-digit numbers, adding and subtracting 3-digit numbers, geometry and fractions, measurement, multiplication and division through 5. So that is what level B covers. So here you have lesson 1-7. We're going over problem solving, writing a number sentence. Your mental math looks like this now. So you're asking students which is more, 5 plus 3 or 9 minus 2. And then your number sense is have students give the sum or difference as you randomly as you randomly show addition and subtraction fact cards. So, and then it tells you the materials. So you can bring in 10 real or play pennies, addition fact cards for sums through 10, subtraction fact cards for minuends. So it's a really easy teacher guide to guide you through. And then that would be their worksheet that they work on. Let's move ahead to like lesson 13. So now they're doing plane figures. Your materials, here's a warm up. 480 minus 6, 20 tens, 149 minus 5, and then a number sense warm up as well. Okay, so that is that, and of course all the extra alternate tests and everything is in the back for you to copy. That's all in the back of the teacher guides. And then this is, again, what a student book would look like. Now we're on to level C, which is 3rd grade. So contents of level C, addition and subtraction facts, place value, addition, subtraction, time and customary measurement, metric measurement, multiplication facts through 5, multiplication facts through 9, multiplication by 1-digit numbers, geometry, graphing, division facts through 5, division facts through 9, division, fractions, and probability, decimals, and that is what's covered here. And again, it's by level, so it's what your child can handle. It's not, it doesn't have the grade on there, which I appreciate personally, versus a curriculum that actually puts grade 2, grade 3, grade 4. I think that's nice when you have a curriculum that's just leveled. So here we have lesson 4, subtracting 3-digit numbers to regroupings. Here's your mental math. Here's your warm-up of number sense. So this is dictate these problems and have students circle the column in which a regrouping is needed. So you would write that, and you can do this on the board. We always just bring out the whiteboard for things in this section. There's your teach. Your practice is usually the worksheets that they're working on, and your mixed abilities if they're struggling with anything. We'll go ahead and move ahead to chapter 11, graphing. So here's your mental math for graphing. 1 week from February 3rd is what? 2 weeks from August 10th is what? And then we have graphing warm-up. So ask students what a survey is. Ask students how many take the bus to school. This is obviously something you would have to adjust for a homeschool. This is, I don't know if I mentioned, just a neutral curriculum. So your teach section and your worksheets. Now with the worksheets, how you would set that up. So let's see, let me do an example. So here's a worksheet, grams and kilograms. So this section here is your teaching section. So you would do your lesson from the teacher guide, and then you would go over this with your student. And there's usually a picture so they can visualize what it is that you are talking about, and then it walks you through how to do it. Then here would be a getting started section, which you could sit with your child while they do this to make sure they understand. Then, if they do understand, you would turn this sheet over and they would work on this side on their own. This section here is usually like a now try this, maybe like a geometry topic or something just to make them think a little differently. So I generally would help the student with this section if they struggled, because it usually asks them to think outside of what maybe they're used to. But I do appreciate these sections here. So that's basically how the lesson would be laid out. There are ones like this where there's, so this is multiplying multiples of 10, 100, and 1,000. So here's your lesson. They work on this with you near, and then this would be like what they do individually. And as you can see, it's quite a bit of problems on the page. Some students are good with that, some aren't. So you can just circle maybe like the odds or the evens And if you think they know and understand what is going over, like what it's going over, call it, and you don't have to have them do the entire page. And then down here would be the problem solving. So that's how the worksheets are laid out. It's really, really easy program to facilitate. Now we have level D, which is 4th grade. So we have the student book and the teacher guide with this as well. So in the level D, we have addition and subtraction, place value, addition of whole numbers, subtraction of whole numbers, multiplication, facts and concepts, multiplication of whole numbers, dividing by a 1-digit number, measurement, multiplying whole numbers, division of whole numbers, geometric figures, using geometric figures, fractions, adding and subtracting fractions, decimals, graphing, and probability. So that's what you're getting in this level. So here we have chapter 4, subtraction of whole numbers. This is what the warm-up mental math looks like. It tells students to complete the following statements with greater than, less than, or equal to. And then you have a number sense. Have students work in pairs. As one student shows an addition fact, the second student gives the sum of the addition fact. So this is something you can do one-on-one with your child. The teaching, and then your worksheet. So like I said, here's the teaching section that you go over. This is to make sure they understand the concept, and this is what they would be doing on their own. Problem solving is something you can also do with your child. We'll move ahead here. So now we're in lesson 13, finding simplest terms. Here's your mental math for this. The present to 2100, 1776 to the present. You're asking how many years there are from the following. And then we have fractions as a warm-up. So have students write equivalent fractions for a half and a third until they find fractions that have the same denominator. Okay, and then this is what a worksheet on this lesson would look like. And again, if that's too much, you just do the odds, you do the evens, until you feel that they have understood the concept. And there are glossaries in the back as well. And all the answers are in the teacher guide. It's well laid out. Here's a look into the level D student book, which we haven't used it. My daughter did like the first chapter of this, so this is what this looks like. But yes, that is MCP Mathematics. I think it's a gem, and I know that there's not much information about it, so I did want to go ahead and share this for anybody that might be looking for a program like this. It's really easy to use. Again, it goes up to 6th grade, so then you can use this program and then move into something else. I've heard a lot of people move into Saxon quite easily, those types of programs. So they're getting all of their foundational skills with this particular program. It's very easy for the teacher. The teacher guides, I think, are one of the best I've seen, and they're simplified. I'm not a fan of those really thick teacher guides where you have to look through a lot of information just to understand yourself what it is you're going over with your child. So this keeps it really simple. Every lesson is laid out the same in the teacher guide, and you get a flow. And I really, really love the mental math aspect of it, to help your child, work through things in their head, which I think is just a valuable lesson, and really helpful for any student. So these have been fantastic. In our homeschool, obviously we use them in a different way, but you can definitely use this as a standalone curriculum. Hopefully that was helpful. If you do have any other questions about this particular math program that maybe I haven't answered in this video, go ahead and leave them down below, and I'll be sure to get those answered for you. So thank you for sitting with me on this one. And if there's anything else, I generally don't do flip through videos, but if there are other things that I use in our homeschool that you are curious about, just ask me in the comments and I'll be sure to do a video. I like to only really focus on things that I don't see a lot of talk about on YouTube, so that those maybe searching can find information on stuff like this. But definitely let me know and I can make anything happen. I will see you on the next one, guys. God bless.